update us on what we've got since we last met.
The definition, fiberglass, definition of plastics. Comparison shows that there are no plastic slats. That's what the rule calls for. There are no plastic slats. There are no plastic slats anywhere. And the gate should be allowed. That's simple.
All right, so
Doesn't
we're
fall
talking-
under the rule, arbitrary rule by him.
We can refer to the code and the any citations that you may have gotten. I prefer if you could not single out any individuals that are doing their job. So we are talking about the gate, and I think that we had set some receipts over that I don't think had anything to do with the gate. We had some discussion about that.
He did.
Yeah.
He gave the description of the gate.
Well, so you sent us over like a Home Depot receipt, which has fence posts in it, but no gate, right?
The receipt for the gate was included. Receipt for the composite material was included.
We have a receipt.
Anybody talked about it last time?
The only receipt you all received is the one that I received from Home Depot.
Yeah, there's the one with mesh with reinforced grommet.
Right.
Yeah, that's just like,
But is that what we're talking about?
That's
Green
what we're talking
privacy,
about.
screen netting? Yes.
we're talking about the privacy fence screen
Gate.
netting.
Yes, and this,
Yeah. Is it, and that's it's a green netting that you're, yeah. Okay. Let's find the citation here. That's
that is section,
well, I'm talking about from like Casey, right? You sent,
yeah, so the code section that's allegedly violated is 405.14. I1D plastic flat and screening is prohibited on the fences. So the wording in that is that barbed wire, plastic slats, plastic screening fabric is prohibited for all uses. Yeah, except in districts or industrial uses.
yeah,
But this is in the T3 international. So this would be applicable to property.
yep.
So I guess the question comes down into whether the privacy fence screen netting mesh is a plastic screening fabric.
Do you have a sample of this material that you could share with us? So,
Rule calls for plastic. It's not plastic. It's wood composite and fiberglass. Last time we had the discussion whether or not fiberglass and plastic are the same thing. You say you restore Corvettes and plastic and fiberglass are the same. They're not.
So
Okay.
just to slow you down, I understand you're frustrated.
I'm sick tonight. I fell when I left the meeting, hurt my back, I bruised my hip. I'm wearing a weight belt right now to hold myself up. So my stomach is very upset. I'm about one step away from throwing up. The minute I walked in here and I saw him, my stomach went nuts. So if I sound a little perturbed or aggravated, I am. I apologize in advance.
Well, I appreciate the apology. They just need to do their job, which is to look at the code, to look at the information.
I understand that, sir.
And to apply
I
that.
would like to point out one more thing. It's a gate, not a fence. Rule says fence. It's a gate. He's splitting hairs over slats and material and everything else. I think it's important to show the difference between a gate and a fence. There's a fence right next door to it that doesn't have one. The
So,
fence right next door to that down on.
could you explain to us what this is that you're passing out?
I'm showing you the difference between plastic and fiberglass.
Okay, this, there's no source of this material,
With the
Like-
beam.
I think what they're trying to is to try to find out what particular thing that you have to show that, you know, it's fiberglass as opposed to plastic.
well, I mean, and then we also have to have a discussion on whether or not, we need to interpret what polyethylene is plastic,
Just, and
by its very definition.
this is bone privacy screen fence.
Don't anybody jump, there's not a Velcro for a gun or anything, so I don't.
If this is the same.
Mhm.
It's
Polyethylene is plastic. All right, let's take a look at, oops. Aesthetic. What section are we in?
The section is, 405-14I
14I.
is I1D. Right, and then there's also the is being made that this is not a fence, that this is a gate. There's a subsection within I, instead of I1, there's also I4, which says gates shall be constructed of metal or wood. Also.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, 405I 4B is very clear. Gates shall be constructed of wood or metal. So I think thoughts from anybody else? I mean, it seems pretty clear. I can pass this around. Yeah, if you want to say, but I can put a little pin mark next to it on the left side there.
Gate should be constructed of wood or metal. I mean, it is a metal gate with this covering on it.
It's 99% metal. I mean, there's a metal gate, there's metal posts, there's metal steel, store wire.
So I mean, my feeling is that if it's metal, then plastic just needs to be removed. And it's no.
The covering, I believe, he just has for privacy. So, I mean, it's a secure gate, right? You've seen it.
I think the idea is though, if we allow it in one place.
Good.
So
So whatever screening could be replaced with wood. And that seems like it would satisfy the requirements.
I would imagine within the code too, if it's not one of the prohibited materials, satisfy the requirements as well.
Yeah.
So if there was some sort of screening based on that was not one of the prohibited materials. Imagine.
Yeah, I mean, when we were,
my thought was that it doesn't need a screening. the privacy.
It very well may not. So, the violation is taken care of by removing the screening, all right? Or if you want the screening, you could replace it with wood or maybe some other metal. It seems. And thoughts from anybody else would seem.
There is no plastic, my point.
Um,
There are no plastic slats.
I guess the issue is that provided this for the Boeing 6 foot by 50 foot green privacy fence screening net mesh with reinforced garment for chain link fence. You haven't provided anything that says what it's made of.
So
The closest thing I could find was I printed off and it looks like it's the same product, Boeing privacy fence that says it's made out of polyethylene.
I specifically ordered wood composite and fiberglass resin so it would last.
But do you have something you can provide to them so that they can see that that's what it's made of?
I didn't
we
think
could also discuss that.
required it since there are no plastic slats. That's what I was citing for, was the plastic slats.
Well, we're reading the exact wording on what's prohibited.
So
We know that because I was given the thing on plastic slats.
The only thing that you provided us with any information about is that this one particular product would clearly state that it's made of polyethylene, which is plastic by definition. So if you think that it's something else, that's one of the things we asked you to provide some other information. That hasn't happened. All right, so you're saying that something is, and you're giving your opinion on whether or not these things are plastic. It's our job to interpret the code and state whether or not this type of a thing is the type of thing that is supposed to be prohibited by the code.
That's what the variance is all about.
So yeah, that would be the second, is first them interpreting that, yes, this is not in compliance with the code. It's considered that it's crazy. But if you believe that it's not plastic, that it's made of something else, that I think would be much easier to then basically they don't have to go on to that next step. They can just say, we basically are making a decision that the determination that there's a violation by the CEO is incorrect because it is not made of plastic. And it wouldn't have to go on to that second stage of considerations.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of in a spot, you can either say that it's not plastic and we can interpret that, or you can say that you need a variance. Those are two different things.
I thought that's what I asked for.
Honestly, your application is very unclear of what it is you're actually asking for, which is why we tried to clarify that the first time.
That's what I think too. It's in the best interest where if you guys make the determination that it is, plastic, then consider those variants so it's not.
Yeah. So, I agree with that. I think we just have to figure out what it is that we're actually looking at. Are we trying to define plastic?
Well, I think there's so many different, all things in one thing that he was asking for different things for different
Yeah.
items, and that's where the clarification
Totally. Yeah.
came from.
Well, so all right, so we got the definition of a trailer in this context clarified. I guess now we're talking about what is plastic or not.
Yes, I looked up the product and it says it's made of composite here, so I don't know if that's the same as what you said, Polly, but is it a plastic? What?
Well,
The code doesn't, it says plastic specifically, not composite, so.
but a composite just means it's made up of multiple different things.
Right.
Right?
Plastic
So,
could be one of them, but then would that fall
Yeah.
into the category?
like one of the things we talked about is fiberglass. Is FRP, fast reinforced plastic. That's specifically what it is. It is fiberglass used as plastic resin that creates a solid structure. That is the definition of fiberglass. If it's not that, then it's fiberglass like that in your insulation. That's the other kind of fiberglass. Those are the two kinds of fiberglass that exist.
What's the kind of Corvette? What's the kind of Corvette?
FRP, fiberglass reinforced plastic. That's what makes it hard. Yeah, is the plastic.
The epoxy, once it hardens, is the plastic.
Yeah, So,
Petroleum-based non-organic material.
yep. Yeah, so,
Nobody says it's a plastic car. They say it's a fiberglass body.
Well, it's not thermal molded plastics.
yeah, I mean, we
think
can
we're
get
going way
into
too far
material
to
design and.
I really
engineering,
do.
But that's not what we're here
Do you
to do.
agree? I mean, I think we're going way too far here on, away from plastic slats to whatever. We're just splitting hairs here.
Right,
Is,
the gate, you have, is there, can people get through it if you take this covering off?
Carl, can I have my, book back?
Check right under it, check mark number 5.
Yeah,
If you take that covering off, is there, I mean, can you see into the backyard,
Yeah.
obviously? Okay, is there anything you can see that's not appropriate? I mean,
This is where it was suggested to me that take the, fence it in. Mayor thought it was a good idea if it was fenced in. That was fenced in. There's wood stockade on 2 sides, very expensive, and this was the alternative. A wood stockade fence would be too heavy for the supports. It would go after a week. This is not. This is a metal gate. It has a dog wire run attached to it, so it makes it 8 feet high, and then it has this. So it's a privacy fence gate. The whole idea was to give the privacy when it was supposedly an issue when the first time trailers came up, which we've taken care of. It was an attempt to accommodate building department. So I spent several $100s, and I'd like to keep what I have and keep my privacy.
so I think one of what we need to interpret here is what is the intent, right? When we look to developing this code, aesthetics was a big part of looking at the screening requirements. And it means quite specifically, like plastic, PVC, like slatting material, like that type of stuff was intentionally written to what we want. I think that's why it's very specific on that, the gates shall be constructed of wood or metal. Does anyone here think that whatever this is wood or metal?
Well, I think the gate is metal.
Yeah.
The screen is not.
Exactly. But if the gate should be constructed of wood or metal. Okay.
I apologize, I came from Jersey and had a ton of traffic.
There's a miniature riot going on uptown. There's a miniature riot going on uptown at the old Roundout Bank.
There's a demonstration going on.
Oh, there's throwing things when I came through.
Yeah. So,
These are plastic slats. This is a picture of just plastic slat. This is not what's there.
okay, what's there does not seem to be wood or metal. Right, does anyone here like believe that that is wood or metal, whatever this thing is? I mean, if it comes in a bag from Amazon, I don't believe it's wood or metal. Right? I mean, yeah, I'm sure you built a lot of fences, right? Like, so, and gates. So, I mean, I'm finding a hard time believing that this is wood or metal. I'm happy to hear somebody convince me otherwise.
I mean,
Thoughts?
I see.
Yeah. If you look at this, section I is pertaining to garden walls.
Mhm.
So it defines what those things are. And within the garden wall talks about what types of materials can or cannot be utilized. It talks about what a gate
Mhm.
as part of a garden wall or fence. should be made out of. So, you know,
And it specifically specifies gates as,
something separate from garden walls and fencing.
Yeah.
Which, as you can see clearly, prohibits plastic slats or plastic screening fabric.
Mhm.
Gates says shall be constructed of wood.
99% of it is metal and
I think that we are interpreting the code to say that all of it needs to be metal or wood. Could be a combination of those two, but that all of it needs to be metal or wood. And that's what our code says. So, are you in on that? Yeah.
Can I point out this, whatever you want to call it, is 60 feet off the road, and the only thing it shields, the only place it's visible if you stand in my driveway.
That is kind of irrelevant to.
I just wanted to point it out.
Yeah. But, you know, I mean, I appreciate the input, but,
Can I also point out that he said it looked fine when he was there?
it might look great. It very well might look great. It's not compliant with the code. That's the thing that that's what we're here to determine. All right.
Can we do a one-time 10-year sundown after that? It comes down.
Unfortunately, that's not how this works.
Well,
Yeah.
technically, you guys can grant the variance request if, you know, you go through the criteria and you feel that it meets that criteria.
But it becomes that's a use, right? And there's no sundowning of a use variance, right?
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, it's as long as it's continuously used.
Yeah.
around.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so I guess, should we roll separately on the definition?
Well, you would make that determination first as to whether, you know, you agree with the determination of the CEO that they're in violation, and then that you would need a variance, and you guys are looking at section 14.4B pertaining to gates. So it would be a use of variance to allow for the gate to have composite material,
Yeah.
non-wood or metal composite material.
Actual,
So his actual violation notice cites 14.1D that plastic slats and screening fabrics are prohibited on fences.
and that's violation number 5. Okay, that's it. There was a couple of things.
Yeah, well, the experiments, it's
A separate one. Oh, they're both called by. So, there. it is. Okay, so, based on our discussion, supporting the zoning enforcement officer's interpretation of this violation,
What I would recommend
Yeah.
is that you guys come to an agreement on the different steps, which is doing one motion with findings.
each, okay,
So that you guys are finding that the code requires a gate to be made of.
Okay. Alright, so
So
we're gonna
if
say,
that's gonna be the section you're relying upon, or if you want to go like on the other section. Determine that both
Yeah.
apply to gates, that gates are.
Yeah, I mean, I think I one D, which is what was noted here. I'm sorry. 4514 I1D and I4B. Yeah. Okay, so then we look at whether or not, given that interpretation, is a use variance warranted? So, and we gotta go through the use variance. The use variance list. So you can bring it right back to. Variance list. Use variance. All right, so, applicant cannot realize a reasonable return, provided the lack of return is substantial, demonstrated by competent financial evidence. I mean, there is no, for-profit motivation of this space.
No,
so
sir.
I don't believe that is something that we are going to, a burden that can be met. The alleged hardship relating to the property in question is unique and does not apply to a substantial portion of the district or neighborhood. There are a number of double size lots in this area. I don't know. Space. Anybody else have any thoughts on that?
I'm sorry, I got distracted.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's all right. It's all right.
Did you say that?
This property is not, there's a couple of like, double depth lots in this particular area. I don't find any, I don't think there's anything particularly unique about this property that.
No.
All right. Yeah. All right. The variance is granted will not alter the essential character of the neighborhood. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think as general, we don't want plastic stuff in the fences. And I think the reason of that being part of our code is to not alter the essential character of the neighborhood over time. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the alleged hardship has not been self-created. You put the fence in.
Just a quick, so the last one you said it will not alter the essential.
I think it would. The reason why we have this in the code is to not, just because we don't want everyone to set up plastic fences. All right. Do we agree on that?
I think the reading is that the code has pretty explicitly prohibited this and.
But again, the prohibition, we're talking about the character of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
As it currently is. I'm just advised that, when you guys look at these, you can look at the big picture and even, you don't have to necessarily decide everything one way. Like definitely, I'm not going to tell you guys vote the way you are, but there's a character in the neighborhood as it exists today. There's intentions in the code to do certain things.
Don't conflict.
I definitely
Okay.
advise that you kind of look and consider what the character of the neighborhood. Have you guys looked at that neighborhood or are the?
Yeah.
You guys drove by.
Yeah. And that's not that far away.
And I'm just saying this from a legal standpoint,
Yeah.
because generally, if things go to litigation, I prefer not to have any kind of appealable basis that we send it back to you guys to reconsider.
Mhm.
So again, a character of neighborhood, we're talking about a broader picture, not necessarily.
As it exists today.
Yeah.
What it's intended to be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, understood.
I mean, so with that, if it does have an effect, maybe it's negligible. Which given, right? But then we have the alleged hardship has not been self-created, and you installed the gate. Is that correct?
Trying to appease the building department.
Okay. So I mean that, I don't think there's any other way to go about that.
No.
Right, yeah. All right, so we find that the hardship has been self-created. So given that, it seems like that this applicant does not meet the criteria for use variance. So I would, based on our discussion, like to make a motion that we concur with the zoning enforcement officer's interpretation of this gate classic in violation of 40514 I1D, and in addition, also in violation of I4B based on our reading of the code, as that is specifically a gate that we're referring to. And that the applicant does not meet the requirements to gain a use variance, and therefore the same is denied.
Can I address that? Sure. I'd like to state for the record that this is retaliatory. This was after I told him the motor vehicles were motor vehicles. He came up, he wanted to know why they weren't gone yet. His attitude was rude, obnoxious, and overbearing, pugnacious. At that time, I showed him the gate. He said the gate was fine. He said, "Are you doing this?" Then 2 days later, I did the thing about the gate. You come, wait, I'm not done. I come down with the gate, find the dandy, I'll take it to wherever we have to go with that. Next thing you know, 2 days later, get a thing on noxious plants. Again, retaliatory, discriminatory, looking for trouble, pugnacious. This is not a a violation of any policy. This is Schumack. It's not Poison Schumack. He made no mention of it while he was there. He was there 3 times before I ever brought this up. And that's when they told him the trailers were going nowhere. It's retaliatory, it's discriminatory, and it's harassment. It should not be allowed.
Appreciate your thoughts. Can I get a second for that motion?
Second.
Carl. All right, so I made the motion.
Just for clarification, it's only the cover we have an issue with.
It's the covering where we are agreeing with Casey's interpretation of the covering. That being plastic, and that if it's not wood or metal,
It
it's a
sounds like the code wants a more non-destructible barriers,
Yeah.
wood or metal.
Yep. Yeah.
So, I mean, he did make the code up. So your dismay for him
Yeah.
doesn't help,
Mhm.
doesn't hurt. I don't know what to tell you.
So Carl, you're seconding.
I did.
Okay, all right. And all in favor? And carried. Okay, so we have addressed both the gate and interpretation of what a trailer is. Is there anything else on this application that we are missing still?
Noxious plants.
No, we don't have a.
They only deal with the zoning
Yeah.
code. So there's
Sorry.
these are property maintenance violations. So you can talk to the building department about that.
I can't get the building department to call me back. Well, Steve knocks 8 times. 8 times his message says he's gonna call me back. He doesn't call me back.
They have an office down there by the fire department.
I go down to the office, they say he's not available.
Well,
Now,
what you do is when you're down there, you make an appointment like I had to do for, 9 months? Every time I wanted to see somebody, make an appointment, and then that's your allotted time. That's the way the system works. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I don't like it. Doesn't work for me either.
It is.
But their job isn't to bend over for me.
So do we have anything else on this?
no, just that, yeah, previously you guys made the finding that, those do not constitute trailers or violation.
Yeah, we just had an interpretation. Well, yeah, I mean, it's, there are other violations likely.
What we said was, I wrote it down, they are motor vehicles, so they don't fall under the trail.
Yes,
Right.
yeah.
So they're okay.
Right, well, in order to have that many, you were going to bring registrations in showing that you had them before 2023. That was mentioned last month.
Yeah, no, that was mentioned.
Yeah, but
The other thing is, I just, I reviewed the code, if you look, there's, under the code, the parking, the current parking regulations that have the maximum of 3 parking.
Oh,
Not
that,
applicable to properties unless they meet certain criteria under 405-16B, which is like new developments.
Right.
So because, like, if he were to create a new,
another house back.
house or something, then that would have to be addressed. However, then we'd also have to look at potentially the pre-existing aspect of it as well. But he probably had his site plan denied unless he complied. But that's not your problem. That's something that would be, since he's not creating anything new on the property, it's not applicable.
Excellent.
Prior to this, and if you want, you asked me to print out the previous parking code violations for you, so I do have it. But as I said, the current code doesn't look like the previous code had any limitations. They had
well,
minimums.
they had minimums, but also anything other than the standard required planning board approval.
Yeah.
So if there's not a previously approved site plan, then it would be a violation anyway. So,
But there's nothing before them to show that there's any reason to, now that they made a determination and that you've had those there, just any further decision. But
I mean, unless Casey has
Yeah.
other violations, but that's not for us to determine, that's for him to figure out.
I'd like to mention that on the trailers, we haven't seen registrations and code does not allow vehicles that are unregistered, so we will
Yeah.
still need to see registrations for
Oh,
them.
yeah, but that's up to,
Right,
yeah,
I
yeah,
just want
yeah.
to clarify that that's not, if you are granting variance for the trailer.
yeah, I mean, if there's not license plates on them,
No,
then they are not.
they all are.
Um,
I pay them every year.
That's up to the building department to figure out and issue violations for. We just interpreted them as motor vehicles and above and beyond that, now it's Casey's court. So, yeah. Okay, where did my agenda go? I lost it in here. Okay, so then we are finished with 162 Fairview, right? Should we make a motion to table again 138 Cornell? I know they sent a
so
request.
they sent a request that they can.
You're all finished, thank
Their
you.
professional look at it.
Well, we are.
I just want to ask, who do I appeal this thing about the plants to?
I don't. I
So
don't.
that's a property maintenance code violation. Talk to the
Property?
Property maintenance code. So talk to the building department. Have you been served anything to go to court on a violation?
Keep getting threatening letters about fines.
Okay. So talk to the building department about that.
Can I talk to somebody besides him?
You make an appointment down there, you can talk to anybody down there.
Good luck.
Well, if you're trying to make an appointment, complain, and then they don't get back to you, complain to the mayor.
Been there.
That does look like a tree of heaven. No, that is invasive. and Gross. It looks just like sumac, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's invasive Chinese tree of heaven.
No, that's sumac, it's just not poison sumac.
We'll talk about that later. You know, I'll show you all the ones that have an herbicide all around my shop.
You were.
Yeah,
You said you work on Corvettes?
Uh-huh,
I have one of them too. What's your business?
specialty motor car.
Specialty motor car?
You wanna sell your vet?
Which one?
Well, when you're talking about
Have three.
Let's, can we go back to 138 Cornell?
You guys can discuss the.
You can't have.
Oh, you want after?
You can't say like this when it comes to Corvette. The first rule, every time I take it out, you want to sell it,
Yeah.
how many miles on it, and can I drive it? No, no, and no.
No,
Okay.
no. Sure, Carl will come, love to see this.
Stop by. Please check it.
138 Cornell,
Are
they
you done?
emailed asking, yes, you're all finished, thank you, sir.
Have a good day. So,
Should we make a motion to table that?
you guys are. Yeah, I'll bring that.
Is it, I didn't print that email, but did they just ask to adjourn until further notice, or, Mr. Cox?
Sir. Mr. Hall?
Nothing on cake.
So what, basically what I was saying, they are. You know, a short report,
Yeah,
each that basically, that if you agree to the trail which I'm recommending, that they're not here and doing their absence,
yeah,
that, adjourn it to the next day.
yeah.
And then if they want to adjourn it further, again, to the close. You know, the adjourn further, you guys can decide at that time,
Okay.
but I'm going to adjourn it past the next.
Okay, so the applicants for 138 Cornell, emailed Amy, asking to, adjourn this to a later date. They are still putting some information together, I guess, so, I'll make a motion to table, 138 Cornell once again, and agree to their mutual consideration for adjournment. Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
While we're doing that,
Yeah,
I have a variance
Mhm.
application that I have tabled until further notice. I would like to close that, rescind it,
oh,
whatever,
withdraw it?
withdraw.
Oh,
You need to vote on 130. We
we did, okay, carried.
You seconded, did,
No, carried, everyone said that. Yeah. All right, so that's tabled again. And, I don't think we actually need to vote on that. You can just withdraw.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and, all right, so, we don't need anything else. How about, someone want to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All right, go ahead. And all in favor? All right. I think everyone got the, thank you, everyone. The financial disclosure document that Casey sent out, yeah,
Second.
yeah,
What's up?
second. Oh, yeah, it's the adjournment, yeah.
I don't know if we gotta do it every year.
And the reason.
Every year, yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's why
it's due
I
by,
recommend save a copy, like make a copy of yourself of your last year's. Remember.
well, it's finally like a real PDF file now. It used to be like a copy of a copy, and it was like this when it came through. All right, so anyway, I just want to remind everybody to do that. And if you haven't taken your training yet, there's an online training on Monday from the Department of State. I'm doing that one for my 26. That you can still, I sent out the link.
Yeah, I signed up. Is that like a live thing?
It's a live thing, yeah. There, I don't remember. Oh, we can shut this off. We're finished.
I'm just gonna.
You stop the recording on your laptop.
Yeah. Wrong stories.